Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to...
Dearly beloved, this holiday season, I didn't get to spend as much time with my family as I would have liked. As a matter of fact, on the December 26th, the day after Christmas, I traveled 13 hours on a bus ride to Atlanta, Georgia in order to attend the Impact 16 conference. The Impact 16 conference commemorated the 25th anniversary of the Impact movement. The Impact movement is a faith-based organization that seeks to deliver the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ to people of African descent with hopes of transforming their lives as well as their communities. Now, one thing I learned about being around Christian organizations is that you're always reminded that there was somebody who died so that you may live.
That's right.
But in a real sense, this notion that somebody has died so that you may live should come as nothing new to black folk, because we know that there has been a few people who have died so that we may live. As a matter of fact, we've gathered here on today to celebrate the life and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one who has literally died so that we may live. But brothers and sisters, I have to be quite honest with you. I do have one grievance as it pertains to the civil rights era in American history. Yes, I do have one grievance as it pertains to the civil rights era in American history. My grievance is that we treat it too much as a moment and not a movement. I'm going to say that again in case you missed it. We treat it too much as a moment in time and not a movement that transcends the barriers of time. It's almost like a 3-day spectacle. On day 1, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. On day 2, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led a march on Washington. And on day 3, President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1965 and America moved into a post-racial society. Well, wait a minute. If that's the case, then why is it that a black man in 2017 with a felony has scarcely more rights and arguably less respect than a black man in the height of Jim Crow? Why is it that 1 in every 3 black men will go to jail at some point in their lifetime between the ages of 18 to 28? Why is it that America has mustered up the audacity to select a white supremacist promoting plutocrat as their commander-in-chief? Make no mistake, beloved, Donald Trump has removed the white sheets of his forefathers from the face of America, and that should let us know that racism is alive, well, and aggressive on today. You see, the Donald and his cronies or appointees have said that they will give 2 things to 2 different groups of people. For white folks, they've promised jobs and security. And for people of color, they've promised more jails and less rights. In a real sense, the Donald has driven us to a point to where we've already should have arrived. And that is that we can no longer wait for somebody to do for us what we have the power to do for ourselves. In other words, the Donald has sounded the alarm. But make no mistake, because a Hillary win would have only hit the snooze button. But regardless of who became president, eventually, we would have all had to wake up.
That's it.
That's right. That's right.
But one thing that I know about my people is that we have always stood on the side of freedom, justice, and equality, and that we have overcome immense odds. From Moses in the Exodus out of Egypt, to Crispus Attucks in the American Revolution, to Frederick Douglass in the abolitionist movement, to Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, to Ida B. Wells in the anti-lynching campaign. Can I take it overseas for a second? To the slaves that were sick and tired of being sick and tired in France that led the Haitian Revolution, to Nelson Mandela and the uprising against the South African apartheid. And if I can bring it back for a second, to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement, to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, to Huey P. Newton and the Black Panther Party, and even unto Alicia Garza, co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement. Yes, our people have always stood on the side of freedom, justice, and equality. You see, my Savior, I'm getting ready to close, my Savior challenged the stratified religious system and an oppressive Roman regime which ultimately led him to be crucified. You see, crucifixion was the harshest form available, very similar to lynching, and strictly reserved for insurrectionists or rebels. You see, crucifixion was a Roman form of public service announcement, which stated, engage in sedition as this man has, and suffer the same consequences. You see, crucifixion was first and foremost presented in front of an audience. Therefore, it wasn't necessarily about the person being crucified, but it was more so about the people watching. In other words, they weren't just trying to stop Jesus, but they were trying to stop his movement. In an incomparable but similar sense, they weren't just trying to stop Dr. Martin Luther King, but they were trying to stop his movement. They were trying to stop you. And for far too long, we've allowed them to. We've allowed them to turn his movement into but a moment. And if we are to do justice to the sacrifices that our ancestors have made, then we must carry on the legacy that they have entrusted to us and to continue their movement. But the one thing that we must realize about a movement is that a movement first begins in the heart. And so I don't care if you're black, white, Democrat, Republican, rich, or you're poor. When you feel the God of justice tugging on your heart, you have an obligation to respond. Thank you.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord